On August 10th, 1999, I was working here at school and I got an emergency phone call. I got to my office and on the phone was my next door neighbor Beth, and who it was the critical care nurse at Holy Cross Hospital. And she had said to me, "Donna, where are you?" And I told her I was with some people, and she said, "Well, Mindy has been shot, but she's going to make it." I got my thoughts together. I then made a phone call to my husband, who was at another school, and told him briefly what happened, and was with a friend of mine, and decided I needed to go to this hospital right away. So we ran out to her car, and I had no idea how to drive or what to do or where to go. So we turned on the radio and we looked up in the sky. We saw these helicopters and we just started to drive and follow the path of the helicopters. We got to the hospital and it was complete bedlam. We were in the emergency room exit and there were frantic, parents on the cell phones crying, screaming, pacing back and forth. So I was confused and shocked and sad and ran into the emergency room where Mindy was lying on a gurney, bleeding profusely from her right leg. She was alert and looked at me and was screaming and wincing in pain. And she had been shot twice in her right leg, once in her upper thigh through and through, and once in her calf through and through. And laying there, just massive amounts of blood. In September, she returned to finish her senior year in high school, and she seemed to be okay emotionally, even though she was seeing a therapist at the time, and just wanted to be a regular person again. And that worked for a while. However, she got into a UC Santa Barbara. She got into a really nice school. And that day we moved her in was a very strange day for my husband and me. Mindy was like a zombie. She sat on her bed in her dorm room. And she was not there. It was like she was somewhere else. She just sat on her bed. She didn't help in any way in setting up her room, and that was not her personality. She was a vibrant, vivacious, social young woman, and she just sat and had this very strange, sullen look on her face. So my husband and I set up her room, and we left, and we just sensed, we knew something was terribly wrong. Terribly wrong. So the week following the day that we moved Mindy into the dorm, we proceeded to get these phone calls from Mindy that she was not well. She had flu-like symptoms. She was not eating. She was very sick, very, very sick. And in a matter of 7 days, my husband and I drove up to Santa Barbara 10 times, sometimes in the middle of the night. Finally, on the 10th time, we brought her home. Mindy had stopped eating and drinking for over a month. She stopped eating and drinking for over a month. And when we brought her home, she was in the hospital. She had, they did all kinds of tests on her, and then we brought her, and we had to call the dean of students. We had to do all kinds of things, and my husband and I went back to the school, and between my husband and my daughter and myself, we literally packed up all of her belongings again and moved her home. We're not taking guns away from people. We cannot do that. It's gun safety awareness. In the home, there are these unlocked, unsafe guns, whether they're long guns, handguns, and they're accessible to everyone. Whether someone wants to attempt suicide, children in the home, a domestic dispute, In addition to guns in the home and the safe storage of guns, the internet sales are available to anyone and everyone. It's just so scary. Be aware of your surroundings and talk about it. Don't be afraid to talk about it. You want to send your child to a neighbor's house to play. We always ask comfortably, do you have a pool? Is it locked? Is there a gun in the home? And if there is, how is it stored? Is it locked? It's available. Over 50% of our homes have guns. Everybody says we need to do something. Well, you can do something. It's so simple to call a legislator, write a letter. Encourage your family and friends to write to your legislators. They are the ones that create and pass the laws. And I am tired of hearing that you can't fight the gun lobbies or the gun industry. We have a right to live in a safe society.